Okay, well, hello from sunny Aberdeen. Strange to say that, but true. If you've ever taught elementary classes, you will know that you are teaching the same limited sort of language area again and again, and dealing with the same kind of mistakes again and again. So, for that very reason, I have developed my teacher's toolkit. It's very low tech, very much more low tech than the last talk that we had. But there we go, still helpful to me. I discovered that correcting the same thing again and again was going to either drive me crazy or I had to find a way of dealing with it helpfully. So I developed some reusable, attractive resources so that when the same mistake comes up again and again, I don't just feel I'm prepared for it, but I actually quite welcome it because I've got some snazzy resources to use. So I wonder if you would tell me what you regard as some of the top errors that you might come across in elementary classes. What would be your top 6? Third person S, yep, definitely. Wrong pronoun, yeah, no S. And the he point, yep. Okay, here are my top ones. I and E with spelling, that's a big one for us here. Question word order, third person S, plural S, yeah. Sounds and O are difficult ones. And syllable stress. Okay, so these are the ones that I decided I would particularly target in my toolkit. Here's my basic toolkit to start off with. Here. Okay, there's some music, usually something quite upbeat for the activities that I propose. Blue tack for sticking things up, scraps of paper, and colored pens. Okay, now that's the basic toolkit, and here are the extras. Okay, the extras to help with the I and E confusion. Just a couple of pictures here. Picture 1, and iPods. Very basic. Students recognize it, they can say the word, and very conveniently it is spelled with the letter I, pronounced in the letter of the alphabet way. So that's a really handy one, iPod, and the other one, email. I think a colleague put me onto this combination. All I've done is produced a coloured picture, mounted it on card, laminated it, and I just wheesh it out. That's a Scottish word, wheesh. I wheesh it out on the appropriate occasions. So that's very easy to produce, but very helpful. Okay, the next props that I've got in my toolkit are for what I call stick-up activities. The first one is for word stress, stick-up stress dots, I call them. Now, this is certainly not rocket science. You'll have seen this in textbooks. They often have a grid with the stress pattern, and students have to write in the words underneath. All I've done is I've made a set of cards. I actually have cards for all the possible stress combinations for words of 1 to 5 syllables. I wouldn't generally put all 15 cards up on the board at the same time, but I select appropriate ones. Stick them up, write the target words on scraps of paper, give the students blue tack, put the music on, something upbeat, and I retire to the back of the class, and this is what happens next. The students discuss together where they should put the words, and up they go. Okay, now given that this is something that is in most textbooks, why do you think it might be more valuable for students to do it this way? I wonder if I can have any suggestions. Yeah, it is more dynamic, more kinesthetic, yeah. Yep, it's collaborative. It also is supportive for the less able students, because it's not apparent at the end if there are mistakes. Who's made the mistake particularly? I get the students to go and sit down afterwards, and then we all look at the board and practice saying the words and move things around, so everybody benefits from any mistakes that have been made. So that's stick up 1 are the stress dots. Here's the stick up activity 2 is the plural spellings. Okay, I've just made and laminated the captions to stick up the words under the appropriate spelling pattern. Do you add S, ES, Y to IES, or irregular? Same pattern. This time I've written the nouns on scraps of paper, give the blue tack, put on the music, retire to the back. They have the privacy to help each other, discuss together, almost teaching each other, and up the words go. A little bit of a dither about some of them, trying to decide whether they should go in this one or that one. And there we go. That's that. So that's the plural spelling stick up. Also very conveniently doubles for third person S stick up. And then by the time they've got that general pattern in their mind, they'll probably be ready for the regular past tense where they're just using D instead of S. Okay, the next little tool that I've got in my toolkit is for question word order. I wouldn't usually use this as a stick-up activity, although you could just write the words of a sentence on individual scraps and a question and get the students to stick them up under the right, in the right position. But what I usually use this for is to color code what I write on the board. It's an aid memoir for me as much as for anything. So I would put the words up. You see that I've got a blue background, I've got a red background there, and a green for the main verb. Doing it like this, it just shows the students that there's a very consistent word order going on in the formation of questions. It shows ones without a question word here as well. Because I've used the different colors, it helps alert the students to the grammatical function of the words in the sentence, alerts them to the fact that the subject, for example, may be more than just one word like you or John. It may be John's friend. So that I find is a helpful one. This one probably doesn't need any explanation. Third person singular S. Ta-da! It's just a huge S. It's as big as I could make it out of wrapping paper, and it's laminated. I'm quite a laminating fan. And yes, you could stick it on the classroom wall. I tend not to. I just have it in front of me and I lift it up. It's a bit more dramatic when an S is missed off. Okay, and here's the last one, the problem sounds, and or. In my experience, students find them quite difficult to reproduce. It's difficult to explain how to reproduce them. Students can't see where your tongue is in your mouth in relation to your teeth. However, if you find a really disgusting picture, something like this, I have found that students quite spontaneously say something like this. And if you find a really cute photo, something like this, students spontaneously say something like this. Or